Hey guys, what's up? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And in this one, I want to talk about a rare and unique opportunity that XDefiant can so very much take advantage of in the way that Call of Duty never did when they had the opportunity to. Now, why am I mentioning Call of Duty? Well, that's because in XDefiant, there's an upcoming feature that will release in Season 1, at least I hope it will, and it freaking better, and that is prestige mode. Okay, now back in the day, as early as Black Ops 2, from what I can remember, right? There was a group of community members in the YouTube scene, the streaming scene, content creators or whatnot, that came up with this idea of racing to master prestige when the game came out. But there was a problem with that, and that was that everybody received the games at different times, and therefore they would start the race at different times, so therefore it was unfair. Activision and of course the devs never really made it something that was an official thing. They never made it a community event. It was just something that the community themselves had come up with, and it became kind of a yearly tradition moving forward with Call of Duty for at least a handful of years, give or take. I remember after Black Ops 3, it really died down, and there was only like a couple of people that were doing it after that. But for the most part, it was something that the community did with every single release of Call of Duty for however long that this lasted. And after so many years and so many opportunities that the devs and Activision never really took upon, I saw it as kind of like a failed opportunity to make everything even more involved. But at the same time, they kind of never had to, because they were going to be successful regardless. So you guys know how Activision is. If they don't make any money out of it, then of course they're not gonna give a damn, right? I mean, we've known that since a long ass time. You know, it just so happened to be what it is. So anyway, what am I getting at here? So XDefiant at this point has already started their marketing in terms of promoting their game. But however, with that being said, there was a little bit part of their marketing that they kind of slipped up on, in my opinion, when it comes and if I said Activision, I apologize. I meant Ubisoft. They kind of slipped with the marketing of something that happened today. As of today, as of the time of this recording, it is Wednesday, less than 2 weeks away from release of the game. So it is, what is it? It's the 8th right now of May. And there was actually kind of an event that went on with competitive players, former or retired pro players, about, I don't know, 4, 8, 12, 16. So 16 players. So 4 teams of 4 basically got together and basically had like a little mini tournament with cash prizes with XDefiant. You saw a lot of former Call of Duty retired pros like Sensor, Aches, and Crimsix, to name a few, right? So all these guys played a few games of competitive in a tournament style, and yeah, that was basically the event. And there were multiple videos that were posted on YouTube and Ubisoft's page, but it wasn't something that was really promoted all that much. However, the marketing in terms of the factions and stuff like that has already begun earlier this week, and they look really cool, but they're really basic or whatnot, which just goes to show you that the budget for this game obviously isn't anywhere near to the budget that Activision provides with Call of Duty or whatnot. But at the same time, even they're known to be cheap. But regardless, you could tell that XDefiant doesn't have as much wiggle room, not nearly as much. But despite all that, I think that XDefiant, as the marketing continues to intensify before the official release of the game, I think this would be a really good opportunity for them to either possibly make an announcement when the game releases or before the game releases in marketing, or at the very latest by the time Season 1 comes out or before Season 1 comes out, because, you know, they're going to be doing marketing for every season, every 3 months for that as well. I think Mark Rubin and the devs would be very in a very advantageous position to make a community event or the Prestige Master Race with an official start time and with a few unique awards for winning, right? And if you won first place, you'd get the best award, like in the form of camos or skins for your characters that are, you know, that signify that you won first place. And then of course you'd have second and third if that is deemed to be. But with that being said, there's also the fact that you can make this a regular community event. So for every new season that comes out, right, which is every 3 months, which is only 4 times a year, which is no big deal, right? You can do a new race every single time with new camos, etc., that signify that, hey, these group of people were the first to make the Prestige Master Race in season 1, 2, or 3, or all the above or whatnot, and you can have a community event that the casual audience can get involved in if they do so. But even if they don't, it's a really good way, not necessarily just for content creators, really, just for the community to kind of be involved in different ways, in terms of, like, I personally think, as a person who's a fan of games as well, I'm not just a person that does content creation. I'm a fan first and foremost, right? Even without this channel, I would still be excited about XDefiant. I would still be playing XDefiant. I would, and if I was watching things like on Twitch or on, or whatever, like, for me, I personally think it would be even more entertaining to not just watch the pros, but watch some of the most badass pub players, right? Some of the most badass pub players out there, duke it out to see who can make it to Master Prestige. For me, back in the day, whenever I'd watch the COD race, that was always entertaining to me, especially since back in the day, I wasn't good at the game at all. I had no idea what the hell I was doing at Call of Duty, right? With Call of Duty. So for me, it was that much entertaining. And at the same time, you also got to see what the good players did and how they played and how it looked from their point of view and such and such. So I say we make this thing official. It's only going to help promote the game even more. And that there's going to be a few pro players and their teams or whatnot that are going to be involved in this as well. So again, this is another way for people to get involved, or even some of the big name streamers. I mean, hell, can you imagine? Again, I don't watch all these guys all the time, but think about this for a second, right? Imagine Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, Tim the Tap Man, and I don't know, one other player, right? Doing shifts of 6 hours apiece. Let's say their fourth player was Scump, right? Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tap Man, Scump, and Shroud, right? Doing 6 hour shifts on XDefiant in the race to Master Prestige. Wouldn't that be cool to see them go up against a team of pros that are racing as well? Or a team of 4 unknown players that are like doing this as well, and they're streaming and all that kind of stuff? Wouldn't that be kind of badass to see that happen? Wouldn't it be entertaining? Hell yeah. I mean, absolutely. You can bet your ass that even though I'd be playing the game, I would have a stream on at the same time on a separate screen, just watching that shit and just glancing in between matches and stuff like that. I mean, because whenever the game will come out, I'm not just going to stream it 24/7. I mean, granted, I've never done a 24-hour stream before, and no, I'm not crazy enough to do so. I'm not going to do that, with all due respect to players who can and will do that. That's not me. The longest stream I've ever done in my life was probably, I think, 10 or 12 hours, but that's it. I can't go any longer than that. But with that being said, I would love to watch something like that. I think it would be fun as hell. And it's even more relatable than ranked, because the majority of people don't play ranked. The majority of people play pubs. So it's like, ooh, I want to see some of these pub players and see what they can do. And on top of that, when you get big name streamers like that, like Dr. Disrespect and Shroud and all that kind of stuff, guess what? They're gonna draw even more attention, right? And therefore the game is gonna help get promoted even more. It's marketing, baby. It's free real estate or whatever. If that's the meme, if that's even the correct meme. But anyway, this is an opportunity that Call of Duty never really took advantage of, or again, from a promotional standpoint, they never really had to, especially since their marketing is up the wazoo in terms of, the celebrities that they involve and everything like that. But XDefiant doesn't need to be that, nor does it have to be. If you were to make a community event like that, especially if it was every season, I think that'd be pretty badass. I think a lot of players would participate, and even if they didn't, it would be a hell of a good time to watch the game and to see all that kind of stuff. So I personally would love it. And just thinking about the team of the 4 of the guys that I mentioned would be nuts. I mean, for me personally, I would, for me, the most entertaining team of 4 would be Excaliburs, Sandy Ravage, Pwn Stars, and the Marka J. You get those 4 on the same team, I will watch them. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Excaliburs, the Marka J, Pwn Stars. Yeah, those guys. Ronaldinho is another one. Sandy Ravage, yeah. So they could do 5. I don't know. They can do like 5-hour shifts, but I don't know. But you guys get the point, right? Like, the possibilities are quite endless, and I think it would be a really good marketing strategy and opportunity for XDefiant to take advantage of this, in my humble opinion. And speaking of which, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about in regards to the same subject, and that is clan wars. Now, back during Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Call of Duty Ghosts, Clan Wars was introduced in Ghosts, and then Advanced Warfare did it at all as well. And basically every single weekend or every other weekend or once a month or something like that, the teams of however people were in a clan would basically play the living hell out of any particular game mode to try to get as most wins as possible. Now, the reason why I mention this is not necessarily because I think Clan Wars should be brought back. I don't know how you guys would feel about that. I mean, for me personally, it would be really sweaty because back during the day, whenever Clan Wars were out there, they were sweaty as hell. So me, I just played free-for-all. And if I ran into sweats and free-for-all, it wouldn't be a big of a deal because as a solo player, I can hold my own. But the thing is, when you're talking about teams and you're playing solo, you're just going to get your ass handed to you unless you have your own team. And mostly I play solo. So whenever there was a clan war up, I would not play like regular team modes at all until the war was over. So, but with that being said, I really think that this would be a great opportunity for XDefiant to do that. And if Mark Rubin and the crew were to actually do this, I think that'd be great. So, and again, I personally, like, I know that the official release of the game is in less than 2 weeks from now. And I do see it as an official release and everything getting going. But like, in terms of everything going forward full throttle, I see that at Season 1. I see the true release of the game like the real, you know, we're going full speed as opposed to we're just cruising in Season 0. In Season 1, which takes place 6 weeks later, I see that as full throttle forward. The engines are ready. Everything's been tested to the max. We're ready to spread our wings and we're ready to take this thing to another level. That's how I see it with XDefiant, because that's when we're going to get our 3 new weapons. That's when we're going to get our 3 new maps. We're going to get additional game modes and stuff like that, as well as post-launch features, which we're going to be talking about in another video. But with that being said, I want to know from you guys, what do you think of this idea? Do you think it would be very advantageous for them to do this? Would you participate? And if so, who? But even if you don't participate, as a fan, who would you like to see participate in that race? Let me know who you would love to see down below in terms of your team of 4 or 5 or however many people that participate in this clan war. And with that being said, I really look forward to hearing your comments down below, or should I say reading your comments down below. And as always, I like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and or listen, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.